Antaryascha bahirvidodatimiram jyotirmayam shashvatam sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam ajnanamunmulayan pashyan vishwamapidamullasatiyo vishwasya pare paraha Tasmai Sri Ramanaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha Satpratyaya Kim Nivihaya Santam Hriddesha Chinta Rahito Hridakyaha Kadam Smaramastamameyamekam Tasya Smritihi Tasya Dridaiva Nishtha. We'll read these two verses, 31 and 32. Maunena majjan manasa swamula charchaiva satyatma vicharanam syat yeshohametanna mama swarupam iti prama satya vicharanangam gaveshanat prapya hritantaram tat padedahanta paribhukna shirsha adahamanyas puradis prakushtam naham kritistat parameva purnam. One of the very beautiful verses here. Maunena majjan manasa swamula charchaiva satyatma vicharanam syat. Satyatma vicharanam swamula charcha. Swamula charcha ahankarasya mula charcha. Self-inquiry is the true inquiry. And this inquiry meaning, when we are looking for the very root cause of the whole thing, whatever is not has to be discarded without any second thought. As I have been giving the example of a person who is inquiring into a murder case or a crime scene, whatever is irrelevant, whatever is seen to be not connected to the inquiry should be disconsidered, discarded, left aside. Because if you really want to know who is the actual culprit, you have to, without any hesitation, leave aside all other things. Eshaha aham etat na mama swarupam iti. Eshaha aham, this alone am I. Etat, this one, na mama swarupam, this is not my nature. And this kind of a prama jnanam, satya vicharana angam, it's a limb of the inquiry. Pramanena yat sambhavati tat prama. Whatever is gained out of correct source of knowledge is called prama. Mimite, to measure, to calculate, to understand, to analyze. And so prama is that which is born out of that analysis is called jnana. Shastra jnanam vyartham bhavati vicharam vina. विचार करने के जो अयोग्य है उसका ज्ञान नहीं कह सकते हैं. Whatever is not fit for our inquiry into the higher self cannot be considered as a means to knowledge or truth. Vichara ayogyam, which is not fit for inquiry. Though vichar ki yogya hai, those which are helpful to this inquiry, that is what is called angam, vicharana angam. Angam means a limb, a part, an associate. So, as I said, a person who's wanting to know who is the actual criminal must only take whatever is pointing to the direction of the truth. Anything else, he will discard. It doesn't need. So here also, when one comes to recognize that मैं देह नहीं हूँ, ये मम न स्वरूपम, एतत् शरीरम न मम स्वरूपम, एतत् मनः न मम स्वरूपम, एताः वृत्तयः न मम स्वरूपम. This kind of understanding is what will help. Otherwise, what happens is, we take too many things in our hand and we get confused. वो जब भी करो, प्राणायाम भी करो, stand upside down also. People keep doing everything else except vichar. See, it is like a police going all around inquiring everything else, but not interested in finding out the truth. So usually that investigator say, just leave aside everything. I know what I'm trying to do here. So, in the same way, when we sit for meditation, definitely Shastra Jnanam is very important, no doubt about that. Brahma ka swarup kya hai? Maya ka swarup kya hai? Kaisa vivek karna? How to undertake the viveka inquiry or the vichara? Vairagya bhi avishya hai. All these are all angams, part. But most important thing, according to Ramana Maharshi, is question the root or go to the root of thoughts. First of all, discard the ahankar that comes in between. And that is why he gave the example of maunena majjan. Quietly, inquisitively, exclusively enter into that state of inquiry. Just like a person who wanting to find the precious stones that are there at the bottom of the river or a pond will take a deep breath and then jump with the sole intention to find where the stones are. At that time, he cannot talk also. Because he cannot open the mouth. And his focus is on what? I have a limited time for, searching this. Because my breath, I cannot hold it for too long. So I have to find out quickly and then get out. In the same way, inquiry should be one-pointed. This one-pointedness is what is achieved in Upasana. Upasanasya phalam ekagrata chintanam. When you take japa, etc., they are helpful means for keeping the mind in one place. Sajadiya vritti pravaha. Sajatiya, of the similar kind, vritti, thought, pravaha, flow. The flow of the similar kinds is what is called japa. Vijadiya vrittaisya vijadiya vritti tiraskarat urdhvam, sorry. After having discarded the variegated thoughts, varieties of other thoughts, exclusively engaging. So that is upasana. There is Omkara upasana, Murti upasana, whatever it be. Continuing, he said in 32, Gaveshanat prapya hritantaram tat patetahanta paribhukna shirsha. Gaveshanat, after having done the inquiry, search, tad hritantaram prapya, having reached the heart, the abode of self, ahanta, the ahankar, parimugna shirsha, with the heads broken, with its head broken, patet, it will fall off. Ataha anyat aham spurati. In that very place where ahankar was there, which was owning up everything, which was have the nature of tadatmya. The difference between aham of the self and aham vritti of ahankar is this: aham vritti tadatmya rupam. The ahankar is of the nature of continuously identifying with something or the other, because without which it cannot survive. Just like my shadow cannot survive without me, where I can stay without my shadow. Ahankar Maya's chaya roop hai. It cannot stay on its own. It has to depend on something, without which it has no independent existence. उसका स्वरूप रूप नहीं है, रूप नहीं है उसमें अहंकार कहते हैं, स्वरूप है उसका अहम कहते हैं. Whereas aham, the one which is replacing the ahankar, anyat aham spuradi prakrishtam. One more thing we should understand is ahankar cannot be directly known. Uska swarup nahi hai. Swarup in the sense, it does know its own nature. It appears only with respect to what it identifies with. For example, if I am strongly identified with my body, the I will appear as I am the body. When the body is gone to rest in the state of dream, it will identify with the mind. Now, even in the waking, it will do, but exclusive identification takes place in the mind, and it gets identified with the whatever is happening in the dream state, and that will become the reality. See? Wherever ahankar is, that will own the reality of it. So when it is with the physical body, it will create the reality of the body experiences. And we have no doubt about that. You see, when I am awake and I'm feeling and I'm smelling, I'm tasting, touching, etc., I have absolutely no doubt whether it is true or not. Why? Ahankar is that which establishes that whatever I am identified is true. And when in the dream state where the body is not identified with, then it will completely identify with Manorajyam, created by the mind in the dream. Uska satyatva. And then at that time, you have no doubt. Whatever I'm experiencing at that time in the dream alone is true. I have no question about it. उसके बाद वो मन भी लय होने के बाद, when the mind also having subsided, what is there? कारण शरीर, अज्ञान, तमस. उसमें लय होता है, but it's able to retain the experience of that upon waking and say, मैं सो लिया, सोया. वो आनंद था, उसका reality. Reality of that experience of absence of all of that, that is considered as reality by the ahankar, because that is where it was identified with. So ahankar creates a notion of reality with which is identified. It happens to all other things also. If I'm identified with a particular object, the reality of that object is so prominent in my mind, all other things I discard. If I'm identified with somebody else whom I love, then that person alone is very important to me. Everything else is not. For a parent, it is children. For a businessman, it is his business. For a child, it is a toy. For the boy, it is his girlfriend or boyfriend. So what it fully identifies with that, and now you remove all identification, what happens? Uska swarup nahi hai. Swayam swarupa, its own nature is not there. That's what is called patati, what? Pated ahanta parimuknat Shrishna. It just falls completely destroyed. In that very place, anyat aham, another I, spurati, shines forth, prakrishtam, clearly. Prakrishtam also means mukhyam, predominantly. Tat na ahankriti, it is not ahankar. Parameva purnam. In other words, ahankar tata aham, atma, parallelly cannot be there at the same time. Even though it is, as I gave the example, just like the snake and the rope cannot be seen simultaneously. Not there, but not seen. You cannot see half of snake and half of the rope. If snake is seen, the rope must be out of your vision. If you are seeing the rope, there's no question of you seeing anymore the snake. Even though, as we understand in the example, that snake is only projected upon the rope, and another thing is the rope, even though in the presence of snake, it is still present, but it is unaffected by the presence of the snake, for there is no sambandh between. A rope और ये रज्जु और सर्पों को कोई संबंध ही नहीं है. There is no connection. There is no relationship. The relationship is created by the perceiver. I mean, he is not creating a relationship because he doesn't know the other one. Relationship requires two, no? He doesn't see this rope, therefore no relationship is created. Anyway, so even though it is present all the time, since it is not known, yesterday also I was giving this example. One boy came out of Balvihar and he was going home and went home, and he was eating candy. It fell on the ground. So he picked up to eat again. Why his husband came, sorry, his mother came running. Hey, don't take that. There are germs in that. The boy looked at the mother and very candidly said, in Balvihar they talk about God and you talk about germs. Both the God and the germs I don't see. And you want me to believe it? So, जो नहीं है, दिखता नहीं है, what is not seen, therefore we doubt it. So here it is said that just like a person who is seeing only the snake can doubt if somebody says it is only rope. What? I don't see it. अरे what जो आप देख रहे हो वही है. What you are seeing there, that itself, I'm not seeing it. ऐसा ही अहंकार जो है वो उसका स्वरूप नहीं है, It is only a projection on the aham. The aham, identifying aham, is ahankar. With no identification on its own nature, it is purna aham. Purnam eva parameva purnam na ahankriti tat. क्यों अहंकृति द वर्ड इज यूज्ड हियर? कर्तृत्व नहीं है उसमें. That's why अहं यत् न कर्ता तदेव अहम. अहम यत् कर्ता तत् अहंकार है. एक कर्तृत्व भाव है, सो अहम अहंकार हो जाता है. कर्तृत्व का मूल कारण क्या है? वो भोक्तृत्व है. See, I do not undertake any action unless I have a reason to do. I have the purpose and the result in mind, because of which I engage in that action. If you tell somebody, "Hey, kaam karo," the next question is, "Kyun?" They don't do the complete work. That is what it annoys me. Okay. Didn't put the connection. Cable connection. क्या करें? Okay. So, if the bhoga is not thought of, then obviously कर्तृत्व नहीं आता है मन में. So that aham without the kartrutva is pure. The moment kartrutva comes, become ahankar. So what is this aham which is present there? Now another one step further you go. Tadatmyam vina na kartrutvam tada bhoktrutvam. Without that identification, there cannot be bhoktrutva or kartrutva. Like, for example, if I have woken up from my dream after eating half rasgulla, when I wake up, I have no more intention to complete the eating, for I know it is false. Lata is very unhappy when I'm again and again saying rasgulla. Okay, laddu. Yesterday she told me specifically, don't bring the rasgulla, I can only bring laddu. Okay, I'm laddu. Half a laddu I ate. And I woke up. So when I woke up, I know it's no more real. Then will I go back and then complete the other half? So when what I said as earlier, identification is a reality given to it. Through identification creates reality. So when the reality is broken, identification also gets broken. And identification gets broken, ahankar become aham. कर्तृत्व नहीं है. So therefore, why कर्तृत्व नहीं है? Because identification is lost, the reality of that is no more. I cannot act on a false thing. It is like upon knowing the snake as rope only, will you take you take a long stick and go beat that rope? I know that it is no more the one I am afraid of, the snake. In the same way, there is no possibility of, in the next verse he's talking about that. What is the nature of this Mahatma? What is his work? We will do any further. Aham kritim yola satigrasitva kim tasya karyam parishishtamasti kinchit bijanadi sanatmanonyat tasya sthitim bhavayitum kshamakah aham yo lasati grasitva kim tasya karyam parishishtamasti kinchit bijanadi sanatmanonyat tasya sthitim bhavayitum kshamakah. Yah, he who ahankritim grasitva, having devoured. Grasana is to dissolve into oneself. Having devoured, having eaten up, as though. Lasati. Lasati means ullas. The word you might have heard. Ullasati. He shines forth. Playfully shines forth. Tasya kim parishishtam karyam asti. उसका करने का क्या है उसके बाद? Tasya, to him, for him, kim parishishtam, what remains, karyam to be done, asti. Saha atmanah anyat na kinchit vijanati. Other than Atman, he doesn't see anything else. Therefore, kaha tasya sthitim bhavayitum kshamaha. Kaha, who, tasya sthitim, his state, bhavayitum, to think, or even to understand, kshamaha is capable. Who is capable of understanding his state? His mind has no more capable of identifying anything with anything. As in our case, what we cannot stop identifying with everything. That is our, like a monkey, it has to identify with one thing or the other, without which it cannot survive. मन का चंचल की कारण यही है कि वो एक स्थिति में नहीं रहता है. Mind's nature of restlessness is because it cannot stay in one place for too long. It has to keep jumping from one to another. It loses interest very fast. Especially you want to see the children. I'm bored. After something, you have to do something else. Then it'll play forever with that something. Again, I'm bored. iPhone 14, I'm bored. iPhone 15, I'm bored. That's then the market also produces new things. Oh, you have fourth camera looking up there. They have finished all directions, and inside is over, the outside is over, side is over, up there. With that, you can take pictures of the stars. There's no end, because knowing the weakness of the human mind, that they get bored, they have to bring new items. Now the iPhone latest one, when it crashes, immediately it will call the 911 and also inform all your relatives, all contact person, emergency contact. They should come up with the iPhone where you shout too long, it'll call police. That will be good. If everybody will be very quiet. If husband shouts at the wife, then one will call the police. Somebody is fighting here, come fast. Dangerous. You have to come up with new items, new features. 4G, 3G, then 4G, then 4G, 5G. हाँ जी, कितना G बने होगे? How many Gs you go? So the nature of the ahankar is being identification. After having devoured that nature, and the one who does not see anything else, atmanah anyat kim atmanah na kinchit vijanati, nothing else. So other than me, there is nothing else. Then how will I identify with anything else? जो कुछ और है, अन्य है, whatever is other than me, I identify with. But then I do not have anything other than me, then how will I identify? And if without identification, there is no reality. Without reality, there is no bhoga. Without bhoga, there cannot be kartatva. कर्तृत्व का जो कार्य है, किसका, उसका कार्य क्या है, कर्तव्य क्या है? That is the line of thinking. Kartavyam nasti tasya kasmat bhoktrutvam nasti kasmat. Why he does not have bhoktrutva? Because there is no reality of a thing. As I said, the half-eaten laddu has no reality, so I don't go back. So when reality is not there, then obviously there is no bhoga for it. Why there is no reality? Because there is nothing other than. This is how this, thinking. So, जीवन्नेव मुक्तः महानुभावः पुरुषः अहंकृतिम अहंकारं ग्रसित्वा स्वात्मनि भोग्यतया गृहीत्वा, having devoured it into himself, lasati bhati, he shines. Tasya जीवन मुक्तस्य Parishishtam karyam kartavya shesham kim asti. Shesham means what is left behind. Kartavya shesham, what is to be yet to be done. See, our problem is we always think if I don't do, something will happen. And the other day I was talking about FOMO. Nowadays, people are afraid of this FOMO, fear of missing out. So if they don't go to work one day, people are now afraid of taking their vacation also. Why? If I take vacation, somebody else will do my job and I will not get promotion. Or I will be replaced by somebody else. And so, many of the executives and CEOs of companies, not their work, but most of the, our immigrants only, they have this problem. Because they will say, if I don't work, then somebody will replace me. I will be out of touch. So that is called fear of missing out. But for a Mahatma who has thus realized his oneness, for him, there is nothing that I have anymore to achieve by doing or not doing, as Bhagavan Krishna had said in Gita. In these three worlds, I have nothing that I need to achieve anymore. Now, anavaptam avaptavyam. Anavaptam na avaptavyam. What is not got, I have yet to get. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. It's not there. But varta eva cha karma. And I will work. Oh, his work, of course, is not for achieving anything. It is only to set right the things which are disorderly. So tasya karyam Parishittam kimasti. Nasti kimapi ityartah. Hetumaha. Why? Saha grasta ahankaraha atmavilasi. Atmanaha anyat kinchitna vijanati. Other than Atman, he doesn't see anything else. See, even as we go to sleep every day, we lose that thought or we discard that thought. ये करना है, वो फिनिश करना है, उसको हम छोड़ते हैं, है कि नहीं? We leave it. Why? Our leaving it because okay, कल देखेंगे, ऐसा करके. But tomorrow I will do. Not that I don't want to do. Then you'll become sannyasi. That's not good. So slowly go to the point of करना है, no. अगले जन्म में करेंगे. It's better. I'll do in the next birth. At least. Now what do we do? I'll do tomorrow. So when you say tomorrow I will do, then only you can go to sleep. So many things that unfinished are there. Everything I have to finish. Then you will never be able to sleep. So you have at least that Prakriti has created that mechanism in your mind that certain things I can do tomorrow. Right? So I'll go to sleep. But in the case of a Mahatma, there's nothing more to be done. As such, we do everything to add more joy to ourselves only, in some way or the other. Subtly, there is a feeling of satisfaction of completed something, which gives some amount of joy, and therefore we engage in that action. वेदांत पढ़ना है, उसका वो सुख नहीं मिलता है, इसलिए हम छोड़ते हैं. वेदांत पढ़ो, विचार करो, समय हो तो भाई आप लोग. If I have time, then I will do it. Because उसमें सुख आपको मिलेगा तो. If you are able to enjoy the vichara, then you will not leave it. So how we are able to give up certain things and able to go to sleep, because we see their immediate importance we do not see. If it is to be done tomorrow, it cannot stay. Tomorrow I cannot do. Then today I have to accomplish that. But since we see that it is not that urgent that I have to do in this now itself, and tomorrow it cannot wait, then we cannot go to sleep until we finish that. For a person who has gained this nature, ahankritim yo lasati grisitva tasya, for him, none of the things of the worldly nature would anymore add value to him. So you will say, kartavyam kimchit nasti. I have nothing more to accomplish. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmanyeva abhut vicharataha. One has seen everything is none other than the very self itself. Idi vakyasya ayam vishayaha. That is what is this meaning of this. Tatra tasya sthitim loka yatrasu bhavayitum manasika kalpanaya chintayadum va kshamakaha na kopi shaktaha ityartaha. Such a state of mind of a jivan mukta, whose mind is so free of all needs and wants and desires, due to his fact that he has realized the oneness of the self, cannot be even thought of by a normal common man. Who can think about it? Jivata eha jihatma bhavat bandhanat muktaha muktasya purushasya hridaye nirantaram aham idi brahmatma bhava spuranat tasya ahankara atmaswarupe vilayam gacchati tena saha kartavyadischa. Not only the ahankara, he explains that, not only the ahankara has diminished or destroyed, that idea of I am the doer also is gone. Abeda akanda swarupe Veda abhasa pashyatah tasya atmanah anyat kamapi na bhati tasya swa ichchaya anavakashat bahya charyam atmani antarasthitim va avagantum bahirmukhena manasa na shakyate ityartha. Such a one who is resplendently, brilliantly shining the nature of the self within oneself, cannot be understood by anybody whose mind is externally projected. See, for us, our mind is constantly externally projected or externally engaged. We cannot comprehend the mind of a person which is internally shining. Even for anybody to understand somebody else's mind is not possible. That is why it is a closed door for everybody. मैं जो सोच रहा हूं आपको नहीं मालूम है. What I am thinking, you cannot even comprehend. That is the private, area. Even in a common parlance, one cannot comprehend what other person is thinking. So, what to talk of a Mahatma whose mind itself is diminished? How can such a person's mind or even behavior, insight, or what is going on in such a person's, within, who can ever even comprehend? Now, you see, till what point we should do the vichar? And the Vedanta Vakyas, Mahavakyas, like Tattvamasi, even though it's an instruction, Upadesha Vakya, vichar about that Tattvamasi and etc. are prescribed by the Vedanta. Whether it is Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma, these are the four Mahavakyas, great statements. But Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi does not talk about any one of the four as is part of his inquiry. His Mahavakya is what? Koham. Main kaun hu. Uska Ramana Maharshi's Mahavakya is that. And then Mahavakya, Koham, will result in that Aham Atma Swarupaha Paramatma. That is what it is. So now you see, when we do not undertake the inquiry according to Ramana Maharshi to find out the nature of the self, then all these other Mahavakya analysis or vichar will become fruitless. Once one realizes the nature of the self, for him to do further on the Tattvamasi Ityadi vichara is waste. Now he says here, we see, Ahasputam Tattvamasi Divedaha Tadapya Samprapya Paratmanishtam Bhuyo Vicharo Madidurbalatvam Tatsarvada Swatmataya Gibati Ahasputam Tattvamasi Divedaha Tadapya Samprapya Paratmanishtam Bhuyo Vicharo Madidurbalatvam Tatsarvada Swatmataya Gibati. Vedaha Tattvam asi iti sputam aha. Sputam, spashtam, sandeharahitam, samshayarahitam, vakyam. Sputam aha. What did he say? Tattvam asi. That thou art, you are that. Tatapi, even then. Para atmanishtam asamprapya. Without abiding by the self, in the self, as indicated in that very Tattvamasi. What is that Tattvamasi Vakya indicating? You are that. Meaning what? Do not think of anything else other than that as you. Which means Atmanishta. Bhuya Vichara. Again, conducting inquiry. Madi Durbalatva. It is nothing but showing your weakness of your mind. Mati and dhi also, or inability of your own inquiry. Ability to inquire is not there. That is why in Bhagavad Gita also, when Arjuna said, I cannot fight, you know what Krishna is taunting him? Klaibyam asmakam apartha na edatvayi upapadyate kshutva hridaya daurbalyam tyaktva hridaya daurbalyam adishto uttishto bhava. Do not have this weak heart, Arjuna. So that is hridaya daurbalyam, durbhalata, balarahitatvam, absence of the strength. And Upanishad very clearly says, Nayamatma balahinena labhya. I am Atma, this self, balahinena, by the one who does not have balam, yoga balam, viveka balam, vairagya balam, vichara balam. Balahinena na labhyate, not available. That is why he said, vichar karne ka itna alasya hai humko. विचार करना है क्या? आप विचार करके मुझे बताओ ना. I have no time or inclination to do any vichara. So you do and let me know. You do my work. Acha, मैं करूँगा. I can definitely do, provided you remain hungry, I eat. Correct. Your hunger, can I eat? You have to discover yourself. What is the point in me doing it? See, this is the problem with people, no? They go to Guru, moksha de do. Kahan se do? It's not with. This is not a vastu. I can take it and make it and give it to you. Your mukti is your vichar. You have to come out of it. Don't get take any shortcut. So the manasaha durbalatvam, madi durbalatvam. Tat sarvadahi swam atmadaya bhavati. Because tat here in the Tattvamasi, tat swatmadaya, as your own self, sarvadahi, always bhati, shines. See, in Tattvamasi iti vakya, it's a vakya. It's a statement. इस वाक्य में पद होना चाहिए. Meaning, a sentence is made of words. Correct? There are 3 words there. Tat, Tvam, Asi. If you do not know what these 3 means, the sentence is incomplete or misunderstood. Padartha jnanam vina vakyartham na sambhavati na artham darshyati. Padartha jnanam vina vakyartham na sambhavati na artham darshyati. Padartha jnanam vina vakyartham na sambhavati na artham darshyati. Padartha jnanam vina vakyartham na sambhavati na artham darshyati. Padartha jnanam vina vakyartham na sambhavati na artham darshyati. जो अर्थ है, the meaning of that statement will be ununderstandable to one who does not know the meaning of the words. If I say to somebody, go and bring the book from there. Bring the book from there. Let us say simple. Bring the book from there. You bring the book from there. Now, in this statement, you understood. Bring it. Book there. These three, if he doesn't understand, how will you engage in that action? What do you mean by bringing? What do you mean by book? What do you mean by there? उसको क्या करोगे? So then you have to teach him, what do you mean by bringing? What do you mean by a book? And what is the point you are saying from where it has to be brought, right? You cannot sit in one room and say, bring the book from there. Where? Because where? You're sitting here. Where should I bring it from? Tell me where. And book. There is one in the library there. Which book? So if I'm making a statement, I have to make sure that you know the four components. You, book, there, bring. In the same way, Tattvamasi, you have to make very clear what is Tvam means, what is Tat means, what is Asi means. उसको कहते हैं पदार्थ ज्ञान. Now, if you see, Tvam, if I consider Tvam, which is stated there in the Upanishad, as this body, this is what usually our translation. You, when I say, you definitely first thing what you say, as identified me, the so and so, the individual, the body, the person whom you know. And how can that be Tat? And if I understand Tat to be something remote, a God who is sitting there up in the heaven, how can me be that? So one has to recognize what that Tvam actually means. And what is that Tat also? उसका नाम है विचार. त्वम क्या होता है and तत् क्या होता है, उसका विचार करना होगा. ये one who does not engage in that understanding of knowing the word and its meaning and its relevance in that statement, madidurbalatvat, because he does not have the strength of inquiry. Even though the statement made by the Upanishad is very, very straightforward, it is no ambiguity here. That does what you are. Is there any ambiguity there? Tattvamasi. There are only three words of what misunderstanding can be there. But see, in Prajnanam Brahma, your participation is not there. It is a statement of a fact. Fire is hot. No, Nidu. Where am I coming into the picture there? And Aham Brahmasmi. Oh, Nidu. You are Brahman. So what am I going to do with that? So there also I have no connection. I am Atma Brahma. This self is Brahman. Oh, Nidu. When do you practice? When it comes to you? Tvam. You see, that is why it is so powerful. Tattvamasi Shvetaketo. You are that. All other statements are looking like I become kind of indifferent to that. But when it comes to you, and I'm addressing it to you, me? So that's why it's very powerful. So therefore, tat padartha jnanam, tvam padartha jnanam, asi padartha jnanam vina vakyartha jnanam na siddhyati. The complete statement makes no sense to me. If I understand the literal meaning of tvam as me, the individual, the literal meaning of tat, which means somebody remote, something far away, then that statement will have no effect on me. On the other hand, when that word tvam does not mean your body, the tvam does not mean your mind or intellect. The tvam does not mean you, the individual jiva. Tat does not mean somebody sitting above the clouds. Tat does not mean the one which is controlling everybody as God. It only means Brahman. And Tat only means you, the Atma. Then and then alone, Upadirahita Jiva, Upadirahita Ishvara, एक ही होगा. उसका ही असी पद्मिक है. What is said as asi, it will become valid. So how is that tvam is not aham na aham na manah, aham na buddhihi, aham na karana shariram? This understanding is called vichara. About that you do the vichara. Similarly, tat does not mean maya upahita chaitanyam ishvaram. It's not that what is referred as tat. That is Brahman, the consciousness. Why it is not that all that attributes which are said to be of God, that also to be understood. Then only that statement will be a valid statement, and with that alone, one can reach there. That's why it is said, Nishtam asamprapya, tatapi para atma nishtam asamprapya. Even as it is stated by the Vedas, yet I have not done my vichar and not reached there. Why? Bhuya vicharaha, again thinking about it, is madidurbalatvam. Nishtam vina, without the nishta, due to a lack of vichara and wanting to do more vichara, it only shows madidurbalatvam. Why? Because that tat sarvadahi swatmataya bhati. That what is indicated as that is always there as your own self. There is no going anywhere. So it is not tam tattvam bhavishyasi. It is tattvam asi. Hai. You are. So Vedaha Shrutihi Tattvamasi iti Tat Sattvam Sat Satyam Sa Atma Tattvamasi iti Sputamaha Spashtam Udghoshayati Tadabi Evam Spashte Shrudeyapi Paramatma Nishtam Parasmin Atmani Nishtam Sahajam Stitim Asamprapya Alabdva Bhuyaha Punaha Kriyamanaha Vicharaha So Aham Atma Na Ahamidam Shariram Ityadi Tattva Anusadan Sandana Upayogi Vicharaha Madidurbalatvam Mano Dhaurbalyam Bhavati. If that one is not able to discard, one is what one is not, and hold on to what is stated as you are that in the form of self-abidance, if one is not able to achieve that, it only shows not the statement is wrong, it is the impurity of the mind. Vichara removes impurities, or when the impurities are reduced, vichara increases. The ability to inquire becomes easy when impurities and distractions of the mind are reduced. If the impurities and distraction agitations are more, attachments are more, vichara is not possible. So we'll see more of it in the next class. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti 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 hari om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari om.